I'm just going to start it. Hello, everyone. Wait, don't tell them we're live.
I can still hear you. I have my headphones in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Nice
my
try.
weekly meltdown, where Allison just tried to backdoor Tyler, and obviously this is one of the reasons why I can't get on Big Brother. I'm like
Listen,
Jasmine.
let's just say my intuition's a little better than Nicole about the
You
people
went to fill up your
I know
water
very well.
20 minutes ago. You don't have a jug. You got a little whatever.
It's pretty big. I don't
Allison,
know.
did you forget to play the intro?
I didn't play the intro. So welcome everyone to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Big Brother 24, week 4, eviction recap. I didn't play the intro because I thought I was being slick and I was going to start the show without Tyler knowing, because back in the day, before we had an intro, back in my day, when we rode horse and buggies to school up a hill, we didn't have intro, and Tyler would just start the damn show, and I would be talking about a hemorrhoid or something. Everyone knew about the problem.
She'd be like, I went to CVS and got this new wart cream, and she had no idea that I started the show.
And it burned.
Those were the good old days.
Never get the knockoff when it comes to anything you're putting on your butthole. Anyway, guys, hello, welcome. If this is your first time, I bet you're really rethinking your entire life, just as we are. Matt in the chat, Joseph, and Rory. Rory will hope maybe be with us next week. B Bean, hello everyone. With me as always is Tyler and Jackie B tonight, and friend and patron Dominic Capello. Welcome. What a night. I'm just going to go ahead and say I expect a little more excitement this evening.
Yep.
You wanted more than Kyle's erection?
Well, here's the thing. We
There
were
was an
all
erection?
expecting, oh yeah, we'll talk about all that. But we were we were really.
That must have been Kyle's erection.
No, of course, we were hoping for a big blindside, but Nicole finally put 2 + 2 together and realized it was 4. She realized that the votes were not there today. There was a clip on Twitter circulating of Daniel and Nicole being like, "Oh my gosh, do we get played? Am I being voted out tonight? I can't believe I knew it. I knew it the whole time. I've watched the show every season. I've applied every year, and I'm done with Big Brother. I'm not even gonna watch it anymore." And then Nicole was like, some people might say that's bitter, but I don't think it's bitter, because I'm the hero of this story. Let me tell you guys, Julie Chen Moonves tonight said, "Be kind to one another." I am not going to be kind to Nicole tonight. Nicole deserved every single thing that she got tonight, and she deserves every single thing that's coming to her on the outside world too, for her behavior in the Big Brother house. It is absurd. And
let me ask you something, Tyler. And guys, do you think should she have come out of the Big Brother house with a little shovel to move her bullshit out of the way? Because honestly, no, I'm not buying anything Nicole said. Well, it was Big Brother, and I'm just happy I got to play. Do you know how, when you're hurting inside and you're trying really hard to act like it's like you get hit with a wrecking ball in the ass, so you're trying to be like.
She did say in her speech that this week humbled her. So
yeah, and it should.
Honestly, I'd like to know what show Julie Chen was watching where she told Nicole it's been fun to watch you play. It's no, it's been triggering for everyone to watch you play.
It's been triggering.
For real.
It's fake. No one buys that you're gracefully bowing out. Yeah. Where is the audience, for God's sake?
They're talking about bringing it back later this season or next season to start. So we'll see. I'm hopeful, but yeah. So Nicole is finally gone, and so we ended the show in a lovely poetic way, right? Daniel's by himself, which he looks even worse without his beard. Let me tell you first.
Oh my gosh!
And second of all, he's He's pouting to himself in the bedroom, being like, "Oh, just end the season already." And then we cut to like everybody having fun in the kitchen without him. And I'm like, this is what you guys deserve after all of this
Hey, you
shit.
can't split the check, guys. You can't split the check.
I
You know what I
have
thought at
I
first
have
when he
my
said that?
notes.
I thought he was talking about a dinner check. I'm sorry, Dominic. Go ahead. Your
I
handwritten
have my
notes.
notes, and a lot of them are about the casting of Daniel. It reminds me.
Well, Dom, we haven't heard your thoughts on like the season overall so far. So let's hear it. Let's hear all these.
Yeah,
notes.
so I'm not gonna go through the whole season because stuff that happened, 2-3 weeks ago is already, so we kind of moved past it.
Yeah,
but
we shine at. I'm the brightest when I'm talking about everything that's irrelevant.
This is something I've talked about with like my friends who watch Big Brother. It's in BB21 we had to endure Jack Aquadouche because he looked like Aquaman, and that was the big movie at the time.
He doesn't look anything like Jason Momoa.
And now
Leave
Elvis is a big movie, so they had to cast this schmucky Elvis impersonator. So that's what we need. That's something casting needs to stop doing, because now they're 0 for 2 for casting someone who would be in some way give TMZ an excuse to mention the show.
What were there no Tom Cruise pipsqueaks available? I mean, Top Gun. They couldn't find a little Tom Cruise piddling around somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of short kings that apply for Big Brother, myself being one of them. Not that I'm comparing myself to Tom Cruise.
You're not Tom Cruise. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, well, right. I'm not a Scientologist. But, sorry, Dom, keep going.
I'm assuming Daniel isn't a particularly good Elvis impersonator. So I will sum up his game by saying this. When it comes to Taylor, he sure had suspicious minds. He thought she was a devil in disguise. Now that Nicole's gone, he's all shook up. And for the next week, he's going to have a hound dog expression on his face. And that's all right with me.
Oh, that. See, did you guys get those song references? A little less conversation, a little more action, please. Okay.
That's pretty much the theme of this season is a little less conversation, a little more action, please. Whether you're talking about gameplay or Kyle and Alyssa schmoozing it up.
Jay Cloud said Daniel wasn't in bad shape in the house until he jumped on Taylor to save Nicole, who didn't he say? Oh, and Daniel was a baby ass bitch. Listen, guys, listen. I can't disagree with Jay Cloud because he really, I don't know, he wasn't really a blip on my radar, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not as invested in the live feeds this year. I've got my nephew doing that for me, and he reports to me everything. So.
Go ahead, Doug.
Thank you, Rory. Whenever I see Daniel,
I was out all day, basically Sunday and Monday, so I was behind on the feeds. But someone told me, "Oh, they're not going to use the veto, so it's going to be Alyssa going home this week." I'm like, "Well, that's kind of boring because she would not be. She should be like third on anyone's hit list. It should have been like Nicole and Daniel, then maybe Alyssa and Indy, and then Jasmine at the bottom, unless Grodner tries to rig any more HOHs for her." Last week, I immediately texted Allison, like, did they just throw the letter at her? That she got the first letter in an instant?
I told him, and like I said on the show the other night, Allison Grodner was on top. She had a fishing pole. There was a line that just amazingly just floated, and she just grabbed it, and she had it. So that's how that happened.
So when I got home on Monday and I found out that Daniel made the schmuckiest move ever, and he did use the veto, and Nicole was going this week. At first, I was elated, and I still am and was. But now I actually have, in the past week, have become nervous about Kyle, because now he's thinking with the wrong head, and he could derail things. I've lost a lot of confidence in him.
Yeah, so Kyle has really I want to double down on Kyle for a second before we move on down, because Kyle was in such a good position heading into this week, and he, of course, there are some temptations in the Big Brother house. For the preseason analysis, I said Alyssa, boring, and showmance. Those are the two things that we need to know about Alyssa. Exactly. But you know, I just like I actually think that like the showmance is a pretty good thing for Kyle's game. Like it's good to like pick up Alyssa as somebody like outside of the leftovers that will be loyal to him, that really needs him. But you're right, Dom. Like he just needs to um, think with the head up here, if you will, and just realize like this sounds so submissive of me to say, but like he needs to realize like her place in the game, and I don't mean that as a woman, I mean that as like outside of the leftovers. You know,
Yeah.
he needs to keep his eye on the prize and realize that Alyssa is the side piece, not the not the main course. You know, she's certainly not the leftovers.
How is Kyle going to compete with water? Because her love is water. So I'm trying to figure out how does one, and mayonnaise, isn't it mayonnaise as well? No.
I have no idea what you're referencing.
In her videos, she said she loved water and mayonnaise.
Oh, that was Paloma. Yes, that's Paloma.
They look alike, okay? What do you want me to do? You put some Twinkies in there, I'm not going to know what I'm talking about.
He's
Put 'em on for a
losing
week, Tyler.
focus.
Yeah.
For what on Tuesday, Kim and Tina asked you guys like who are you most impressed by that you had low opinions of, and who's disappointed you, who you thought. It was definitely, my answer at the time would have been Kyle and Turner, which was basically everyone's answer. We went into the season thinking we were not going to like these guys, and they both turned it around. But since then, in the past 48 hours, I've lost confidence in Kyle.
All because he kissed the girl.
I just don't think he's focused anymore. And my biggest disappointment was I have a fantasy game with Allison and some other people, and both those drafts I picked Indy first. I didn't think she would be like a super good player, but I thought she would bring something to the house that like this fun energy. But she just turned out to be another like vindictive mean girl. So she's who I'm most disappointed with personality wise. I thought every season there's someone's like, okay, they're not a great gamer, but they're a good personality, they're a good character for the show, and she's none of those things.
Where are we on our fantasy game? I keep forgetting about it.
I lost my first one today.
Am I winning? Am I ahead?
I'll check.
Okay.
I hope I'm still logged in because I don't remember my password.
That's how invested we are around here.
Yeah.
In our fantasy games.
I mean, so I'm starting to like really compare this season to Big Brother 6 in terms of like actual like sides of the house. So, like Big Brother 6 was like Janelle and Kaser and James and Rachel and Sarah and Howie versus like the friendship, which was like so hated. Like I feel like the friendship is like just as hated as like these people outside of the leftovers are. The problem is like the leftovers really, or people outside of the leftovers like haven't been winning like comps really. And when they do, like Daniel, he just totally misplays it because they just have like such blinders of hatred that they can't even zoom out and see this like huge 7-person alliance in front of them, right? Yeah. Like it's just so crazy that like they can be so fixated on just hating somebody so irrationally that like that is their entire game. It's all emotional. It's all like just total blinders. And like, and it's not just Daniel too, right? Like Dom said, like Indy has been a part of it. Like they've really like shielded Indy from like bad comments on like the show and stuff like that.
Is she really like, that bad?
Not, I don't think like as bad, but I could be wrong. Like Dom, maybe you could like attest to this more. But
no, you've probably seen more feeds than I have. I try to catch up as many as I can, but from what I follow on Twitter, yeah, she's pretty vindictive towards Taylor again for no specific reason. And everyone who's gone home so far has gone home because they've hated Taylor for no reason.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Taylor picking Indy and Alyssa as her new festy bestie. I'm not on board with this. I can kind of see why. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I would have freaking saddled up with Terrence and Joseph and Monty. You might as well just call me the little Dingleberry because I would have been hanging on to those three for like, well, let's be honest, two of them, because Terrence and I would just be the dingleberries. Okay. But why? What is the logic going with Indy and Alyssa? Is this to make sure that you're safe because of Kyle and Alyssa, or what are we doing here?
So think about it this way: like Taylor, like the surviving like leftover like out of the BB Bessie that's on the block. So Taylor tonight, for example, you really need to make sure that you are in a group with somebody that's not leftover, so that if you do touch the block again, like it's not like like if she were to like go with like Michael and Brittany, right? Like that serves nobody any favors because now it's three leftovers potentially on the block if like Daniel or Jasmine or somebody wins HOH, right? So like if Taylor is sitting there on the block with Alyssa and Indy, she has nothing to worry about. Like, yes, does it like put her in harm's way again? Yes, which I'm not like crazy above her, especially like since she was like so emotional about having to be on the block once again. And I'm glad that Taylor is thinking about like, I don't want to be the person in the alliance that has to be the one to sit on the block every week. But it's the only way to kind of like ensure that like no matter who wins HOH, like the leftovers have a way out of the week without anybody going.
Well, everyone in the chat is very much, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, just say everyone in the chat is very much on board with her picking Indy and Alyssa, except a couple of Abraham Champagne. We're on the same page. I would have picked the threesome too, you know, because I'm always alone in my decisions around here. But I'm sorry, Jackie, what were you saying?
Oh, I agree. I totally agree with Tyler. I think that choosing the ladies is helpful because again, the Festy Bestie is just the cookout. What is it? That gameplay. It's just having somebody on the block who's not in your alliance. That way, it keeps you safe, and you know for a fact you have votes. So I think she did a really good job with picking this group.
Yeah, and
it's funny because. It's funny because Indy absolutely did not want Taylor joining her team, so she was smiling and clapping, which you know she was outraged on the inside.
That's kind of like if I got picked Tyler's team. Oh, he'd be livid. He'd be like,
"No, I'd be happy because then that means you're going home, not me."
Oh, you look so stupid right now. Sure. Like Rihanna said, you look so dumb right now. And stuff. What is that a song? Does she have a song called "You Look So Dumb Right Now"?
I have no idea.
Rihanna. No, it's Rihanna. Okay, I'm 45. Leave me alone. Umbrellas was the last song I really remember.
Oh, Allison, I'm winning 28-21 in our draft.
Damn it! I can't even win a fantasy draft. Anyway. It's lyrics.
All right, so let's check in with the leftovers. Let's see how they're doing as a group. So just to recap, so the leftovers are Monty, Taylor, Turner, Kyle, Brittany, Michael, and Joseph. So now we had like Kyle like really in the driver's seat at like the beginning of the leftovers. He was really leading the charge, like making sure everybody was sticking together. But now we're starting to see a little like pockets of little side alliances form that I think is really good because like this alliance like is as good and as smart as it is, like it really is just like a ticking time bomb until they have to turn on each other and eat their own. So Taylor and Brittany have really started forming like a tight like two-person alliance. And I actually think that like Brittany is like now more loyal to Taylor at this point than Michael, which I think is really great because Taylor and Brittany have this bond of like, we wanted to be in the girls at the beginning, but the girls like really weren't accepting us for one reason or another. We're the only two girls within the alliance of the leftovers. So I think it's really beneficial for both of them to really have each other's backs. And especially Taylor, because I feel like if Taylor gets to the end with Brittany, I think that's a pretty easy story to pitch for the win at the end. So it's kind of putting Michael in this weird spot of I was closer with Brittany to begin with, so like where do I go? And I think Michael's first thought would be let's like really link up with Kyle, move forward with him. But because like Kyle is just like goo goo gaga over Alyssa right now, that puts like a wrench in things too. So I feel like if Michael were to win this HOH, I think that it's in his best interest to put up Indy and Alyssa and Taylor therefore as well, but really like properly target Alyssa this next round.
Can I ask a question? If I'm a little out of line, just let me know. But has Kyle's dingling never touched anything outside of his pants besides his hand? I mean, what is he? He's a virgin. He's never had a girlfriend. He's never kissed anybody. What's going on here?
Listen, like, go ahead, Jackie.
I was gonna say, I think like I have the frown. I think that was a conversation that they might have had on a live feed where they were talking about. I think it was during that like Monty roundtable where they were all kind of sharing their different experiences, and Kyle was mentioning how because of his Mormon faith, he was told you go off to mission, but you don't date, you don't drink, you don't do all that stuff. You just you get married to save yourself for marriage. But I do think he said I don't remember if he said he's had sex, but he's definitely told Alyssa that no sex. And I remember that conversation because Alyssa was like, wait, what? No sex? Like,
your
what you
hand doesn't count. But look, and if he's a virgin, I respect it. I'm not downing anyone. It's a beautiful thing. Don't just give it away. But he's kind of acting like someone who, I mean, you're doing great. You started the leftovers. Now you're dry humping Alyssa's leg like a little dog. It's tacky. You're gonna get your ass out. Joseph ain't gonna put up with it. After
I don't, Allison, do you remember in Big Brother All Stars the first one, not the shitty one that we just had?
Yes.
Do you remember what they called the Jack Shack in Big Brother All Stars?
Oh my god.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Dom?
Yes, I did. I blocked it way back in my memory, but
so this was Dr. Will and Howie's creation. But so they had like a crate in the backyard that kept like all the pool like floaties and like pool supplies and stuff like that. So the guys just like took all the equipment out of the pool and left their mic like outside of the crate, and that's where they rubbed one out. And okay. I just I'm just saying on the record, I feel like if Kyle just had the Jack Shack, I feel like he would be totally full steam ahead with the leftovers again. I just feel like it's just like a situation where things are just getting a little too too back up.
Take a dookie without your mic on now.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't think
they showed it in the show tonight. Like Kyle, like being like, they showed him like being like a hog in the shower and stuff like that. I'm sure he's doing more than just scrubbing in there. But I don't know. I just that's a tough predicament for him. And
go in the bathroom, the HOH bathroom, and spend some time with the stool.
Oh yeah.
Do what you got to do. Make love to that stool. It's okay.
Do you think when Kyle goes into the DR, all he's asked is about Alyssa and vice versa? Because like this showmance happened because like production like forced it to happen because they were just they loved their showmances. There were no showmances, and they almost like pushed these two together. I mean,
I think production's really thirsty for a showmance since we didn't.
They wasted like 20
year.
minutes of tonight's episode on this. Is Alyssa going to turn Kyle against the leftovers? Yeah. That may happen eventually, but there was nothing like that this week.
Yeah. They should have shown frickin' Daniel calling everyone clowns, that he's sick of these clowns. He can't believe these clowns and all of this stuff after the PO. Didn't even acknowledge any of that. And Cal Theodore in the chat, can someone talk about Julie's flop of an interview?
Well, I was going to get to that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I already mentioned before. She goes, "Oh, you fought so hard, and it was fun to watch you play." It's like, no, she didn't. She was just horrible and a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole argument, like I can't get over how uncomfortable that was last Wednesday. I mean, that was really triggering for people to even watch. It's still
who had fun watching Nicole play Big Brother? What the hell?
Julie's a Chen bot. they put the the chip in her ass and load her up, and then she knows what to say. She's not a real person. The real Julie Chen died 15 years ago, and we got this bitch in here. I mean, seriously, she does not watch Big Brother. They show her footage, and that's it. Because if it would have been me when she can't be like, Nicole, really? I mean, come on. You're happy. You're out of the house. It was no.
I mean, she smacked Marcellus with the paper when he came outside of the house after he didn't use the veto on himself. Like, and it's not like there was no precedent for it this season too. Like Nicole literally said, she was like, yeah, I mean, like what I really love about these shows is you go out to Julie Chen and if you are bad, she really lets you have it. And I'm like, Nicole, little do you know that that's probably going to happen to you. And of course, Julie Chen just like has like a biblical fizz out or something.
What would have Jeff Probst done? What would have Jeff Probst done? Because he's a little spicy right now with his hair. He's feeling a little spry. Come on, Tyler, give us our Jeff Probst.
Like, wow, Nicole, you're a police officer and you have like the worst reads I've ever seen in the house. Like just like crazy eyes, probably. But, yeah. I just
you mentally abused a young woman who's done nothing to you. How does it feel that your best friend convinced everyone to use the POV, and now that's why you're gone? How does it feel? Like I can feel it through like your teeth. Like I can feel it, man. Just tell us. We got a bleep button. It's okay. Go ahead, let it out.
There was like a little cut, like at the very, very end, where she kind of had like this, not deer in the headlight, but like deer that know it's about to get hit in the headlights. Like, you're coming. I can see the wave coming, and she had that moment of like, not oh shit, but like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, she's talking about beating people's asses in the house. I don't know how comfortable I would have felt grilling her.
Oh my God. Well, yeah.
Well, she even said something about like Taylor was in like a bikini top and like denim shorts that were like unbuttoned in the backyard, and she like Nicole said something to Daniel and I think Terrence. She was like, look, if Taylor wants to play this game with her pussy out in front of everybody, that's her, but that's not me. That's not the way I played the game. And then there was like a screenshot of her, I kid you not, like the very next day, wearing a bikini top and denim shorts that were unbuttoned in the backyard. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess you are playing with your pussy out.
I
only watched a little bit of the live feeds this morning, and sure enough, I had to see Nicole and Daniel in the storage room, and this is what they said. We don't say bad things about anyone. Yep. Britney sucks. That was the sentence. We don't say bad things about anyone. Britney sucks.
Exactly, Dom. Like it is just so and like I like keep talking about this because like I just can't get over just like the amount of like narcissism, the amount of like delusional behavior that Nicole and Daniel have like convinced themselves that like they are the absolute hero of this story, of this season, and they are like the martyrs. They have done nothing wrong. Like they never say anything bad about anybody. I'm a cop. Like my reads on the house are so good. Let me reveal this giant secret to you, because my career, my life is such a grand secret that like it needs all of this like gravitas, all of this like attention around it. Like I just like the delusions that this woman has about her place in the game, her place in life, her place in like the Big Brother history is just like so absurd to me that I just like. I can't think of a house guest that I have disliked more in a very, very, very long time. Like, give me Derek F again. Give me Raven Walton again. Give me Polly again. Give me
Raven's
like.
A bridge too far. Raven's a bridge
I mean,
too
at least
far,
Raven was like comically like delusional. You know what I mean?
Wolf,
like
wolf.
Exactly. Like I can't imagine Nicole saying that and me laughing at it. You know what I mean? Like it's just so gross. I feel like I need to wash my hands after like every scene that we see of her. And I'm so glad she's gone. This pre-jury boot list has been very wonderful and very well deserved. And it's what we as the viewers deserve after like the first 2 weeks of covering this season.
Yeah, all we got from Julie was right before she revealed the leftovers. She did tell this alliance formed the night of when you
Good.
and Daniel sort of attacked Taylor. So she just briefly mentioned that for me.
And
That's
she's
all
like,
she cares
"Oh,
about is the alliance
great.
reveal.
Tell me more, Joey."
She's like, I love her. Taylor's so great.
Oh, you're gonna play the goodbye messages?
I just can't wait for like the screenshot of the notes apology on Twitter where she says that Taylor bullied her and Daniel so much, and you don't see everything that happens on the live feeds. And
I know no one has owned it yet.
You know that's coming, right?
You think just the law of average, one evicted house guest would own what they do with house. They've all done the "you guys haven't seen everything that went down" excuse. No one has owned up to it yet.
Yeah, what's the same shit Derek Jeff said last year too?
But it's usually one person a season says that. So far, everyone who's been evicted has said that. I thought Amira would be smarter than the others, and she would, even if it was a fake apology, she would apologize. But no, she went with the no. It was Taylor. She was the bully.
It's just so baffling to me. Like, it's baffling to me that people would lie to millions of Americans about what they themselves are seeing with their own 2 eyes and own 2 ears, rather than just say, listen, I stepped in it, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Like, that humility is just so lost on people. I just like and maybe that's why they're the type of people that get cast on these things, because they make good television, just because they're just like too unhinged to be like a little bit introspective, if you will. But I don't know.
See how stupid they sound when they're like, "You don't see everything that happens on the feeds." You know, you're not wrong. I don't see what's going on in the bathroom. I don't see what's going on in the shower, but I hardly think any hardcore gaming is going on around the commode.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think everyone's in there around the toilet. You're still mic'd. You still got a mic.
What about what we did see? Like, do you want to talk about what we did see that there are like clips of online of you saying and doing these things? But I digress.
But no one grills them. Whoever interviews them just gives them softball questions, because they're just happy to have someone who's on Big Brother come on their YouTube channel, so they don't ask them any tough questions.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I'd ask the tough questions because I don't care. What are you gonna do? Slap me through the computer? What are you gonna at me? Are you gonna at me on the Twitters?
I will say I really wanted to reach out to Amira, because she is from my hometown, and say like, hey, do you have any interest on coming on my weekly meltdown? But like, if she's just gonna be saying the same bullshit that like
you
and Paloma, but no, like before all of this like crap went down, like no way. Like it's all like. It reminds me of like some political things going on. It's just all propaganda and just like a retelling of like reality. You know, like you can argue opinions, but like you can't argue facts, and that's what these people are trying to like defy.
Let me ask you guys a question. I think Jackie and I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday night show, but Tyler and Dominic, I was kind of curious where you guys were on this. Talking about the Daniel and Nicole dynamic, how, you know, sometimes we're around people that kind of bring to life more of the nasty side of our thought process. And, you know, you get with some people, you're just evil. Kind of like when Rory the Virgo comes on this show. We cut up and we're terrible. But like, do you think that Nicole may be triggered into some part of Daniel that just made him a little bit nastier than what he like? I highly doubt we're gonna see the same Daniel from here on out. I'm not saying he's, you know, I just think it may be a little different now that he doesn't have Nicole in the house. But could it be that he kind of triggered, like they were the mean girls and now they're separated and he's kind of got to fight for his life? what do you think about that? Because when
No,
the
go ahead.
conversations I've seen him have, like with Brittany and some other people in the house one-on-one, he seems like a nice guy you can talk to. Like he could be a good friend. Maybe this just was a nasty person he was around.
What do you think, Dom?
Well, I mean, we saw at the end of the episode those last couple of minutes. Granted, she just left,
Right.
but he was still being a shit,
Oh,
Yeah.
bitter.
playing the victim, not owning up that he put himself in this situation. That now what's happening now? He's in that position. You know, people on Twitter like, "Oh, you don't like being alienated from the rest of the house." Like what was happening to Taylor? It's not so funny now that it's happening to you. So I mean, I guess I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I haven't seen enough that I think he'll stop being a shit. Honestly,
Could a villain
That's-
have an arc? Could a villain actually turn around?
It has to be a really specific type of villain, right? Like I'm thinking like a Rachel Riley. Like she's a good example of like a villain that like still has like a weird like underdog factor. Like the problem with Daniel is when he gets caught with his pants down between his legs during this eviction tonight. The first thing he does, like while the show is cutting out, like exactly what Dom said, he's like, "Cancel the season already. It's done. It's over."
I didn't
like,
see
like,
this. What?
Yeah,
What?
so Allison, at the end of the show when they were rolling the credits, Daniel was in the bedroom, like talking to himself, talking to the cameras, being like, "Cancel the season already, Nicole, I miss you." And then they cut to like everybody laughing and hanging out in the kitchen. Like this is going to be Daniel moving forward. Is just like a rain
Yeah.
cloud, wet blanket, and like you think that you are the season, and if you are down, like the season is over. That's hilarious. So yeah, I just like. There's the problem, Allison, is that there is no redeeming quality to not just Daniel, but just like so many of the people that are on the bottom. Like this entire The Leftovers Alliance is such a steamroll, and like we were complaining so much about the steamroll in Big Brother 22, but when the steamroll is like so satisfying because the people on the other end are just absolute garbage. It feels good. Like it feels good for Daniel to be like complaining to himself. It feels good for Jasmine to be more concerned about a missing muffin than any strategy going on in the Big Brother house.
So what was it that Jasmine said tonight to Julie? You look finer.
Prettier than a chicken wing in an air fryer. Oh, I remember that one.
What
this
the
is just
fuck
this
she
is just
saying?
embarrassing at this point.
I never even heard that. Who puts a chicken in an air fryer? What are you doing? Can you do
Production has to be
Yeah,
eating these things, right?
I put chicken in an air fryer, but I never said, "Oh, that's pretty." Like a
Yeah,
rack of ribs.
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
she's
That's what I meant,
weird.
Jackie. Like, are you looking at that chicken going, "Oh,
Wow,
I need to
pretty.
go to the Jack Shack for a second."
This chicken wing is prettier than Julie Chen on stage.
Damn.
No.
Oh yeah.
I swear production tells her to say it. There's no way this woman is just sitting there. Oh, what can I say to Julie tonight?
She did have to. She had her scooter taken away
Yeah, she's on the
because
boot.
she's on the boot. She apparently told production in the diary room that she was using, like she was playing up her injury for like strategy purposes, so people view her as like a goat and bring her further. So I'm glad that production put their foot down and said like, you're not going to use like this scooter that we are graciously giving you as like your ticket to the final three, like Christmas did in Big Brother 19. Not
Why
gonna
is it
happen.
okay? Why is it okay for the goose and not the gander? Why is it
Don't
okay
even
for
know it.
Christmas and not Jasmine? Why is it okay? I need an answer. And damn her eyebrows tonight. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh.
But, right? When she went in there to the vote, I was like, oh, do the eyebrows get to vote too?
That's
I
her.
did the
That's her
same
true
thing.
beauty.
That was a lot. That scared me. I think even my cat in my lap was like, I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Speaking of Christmas, you know how we just stop calling it Christmas and we start calling her stuff like Arbor Day.
Yeah.
So I was thinking instead of Elvis, we don't give Daniel enough respect to call him Elvis. So I think I started going through other 50s singers. So Pat Boone, maybe Frankie Avalon. No, that's too much of a compliment. There was a singer in the 50s called Sheb Woolley. That is how I was referring to Daniel for the rest of the season. He's not an Elvis impersonator. He's a Sheb Woolley impersonator.
That's so funny.
You know what he is? He's not Elvis. He's Elvis's manager that ruined Elvis's life because he thought he that's who he is. And I can't remember that guy's name, but that's like
Colonel
what
Parker.
yeah.
Mm.
What's it part? Yeah, that's who he is because he's so, I want to believe, like even in the worst people, I try to find some kind of tiny little glimmer of something in there that maybe there's some way that this person just doesn't understand there's something. And I want to see that in Daniel so bad, because he's on my list. But anyway, I just hope that maybe he turns it around and,
I
don't know.
I continue to pat myself on the back here with my first impressions of all of these people, because I've been new about Turner, I've been new about Alyssa. I knew that Daniel was going to be a flop. I knew that Kyle was going to play a better game than people were giving him shit for preseason. As soon as I saw the word entrepreneur for Jasmine, I said nope.
And you knew about Nicole. Well, I mean, what you said was that she was in the Company Girls Alliance, but she just ended up being a mean girl in general. So I will. As soon as
I saw her like looking at Derek Levasseur in her like intro video, I was like, yep, that's all I need to know about this one. But yeah.
Anelda said in the chat, her eyebrows probably have their own Twitter account. You know what? I don't think I think her foot has a Twitter account.
It does.
One on her eyebrows too.
I'm really disappointed production couldn't come up with an edit for her walking, or like they didn't even really put her in walking. But I watched some of the some of the live feeds, and watching her like hobble along, clunk, 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 that was amazing. I was waiting for some kind of audio.
I need her.
I saw a clip of Jasmine talking to, like, Michael was like on like a spin cycle, or not Michael, Kyle was on like a spin cycle, and Jasmine comes up and she's like, yeah, I don't I gain weight when I intermittent fasting, so that's why I don't do it. Yeah, I actually gain weight when I don't eat. And she just like walked away, and Kyle looked to the camera and he was like, what the fuck? It was so funny. Like it's to a point with the leftovers now that like they, especially Turner is so sick of Jasmine, just like personally, just as a like human being, that like, if he was like, I could see Turner being like, listen, I need to like put myself on the block so that Jasmine is out of the house, because it's just like that itself.
I couldn't say this the other night, but let's all be honest. She was giving that pickle some good head on the live feeds the other day. I mean, dude, she was on the tip. She was all in that pickle.
Oh my gosh, I still haven't seen it.
I need to. Right? I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. Go to the freaking jerk shack with that pickle.
Joseph says, what are people's issues with Kyle bringing up sexual frustration? It happens in the house. It is the fact that a showmance doesn't involve people we like an issue. I mean, that is true. Like, Alyssa and Kyle are just like a very like boring showmance. Like, I just, it's so vanilla. It's so like, I don't know. It tastes like
yeah, I don't think I've ever liked any showman, so it has nothing to do with. So it's not like, oh, it's just because of them. It's just in general. I don't watch The Bachelor. I don't watch Love Island. I don't care about any of that crap.
So I'm still pretty new to like the Big Brother community. I'm like, maybe a year in, and this is my first year on live feeds. Why do I keep calling them news feeds? On live feeds. But do people have sex on Big Brother? Like, are they allowed to?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so is there like he just doesn't want to because mom and dad are watching, and Alyssa's mom and dad are watching? Like,
look, your mom and dad watch you have sex on the live feeds. That's another problem. They shouldn't be watching that. Okay, I don't want to see my son on Big Brother having. Okay, time for me too. Imelda, no.
I mean,
we're
Kyle's
not-
mom has been on Twitter like pretty vocal about like not wanting to see any hanky or
Okay.
anything. So.
Imelda, we're not talking about Turner eating Jasmine's muffins. That's so wrong.
But yeah, like modern Big Brother definitely like will switch the feeds off of two people having sex if they are. Like the last like example of that was probably either Jackson and Holly, Jackson and Holly and Jack and Annalise with the infamous sex duel. Like they would always like cut into like a different, but they used to show it. Like I remember and this was like Big Brother 10 was like one of like the first seasons I watched. And I wasn't like a live feed viewer because I was only in like middle school at the time. But like, so I was getting like live feed updates on, it was called like bbdish.blogspot.com or something. It was gosh, those are like the retro days of Big Brother. But like, that's how I would
You want to tell me about the retro days of Big Brother and you're talking about Big Brother 10? Continue.
Yeah. But so like, and she would just put like screenshots of like events like in the live feed throughout the night, and she was like 3:30 a.m. April and Ollie are just like totally banging in the HOH room with like no sheets, like nothing covering them, and he was a preacher's son too. So like there have been plenty of instances where people are just like going at it, and like people like outside, like after the season's over, they'll say like, we truly like forget that there are cameras like behind all those mirrors after just like 2 or 3 weeks in the house. So it happens.
It goes all the way back to the season 2 of Big Brother, the first HOH room. This was back when the Big Brother house was only 1 story. It was not 2. And there was
That
sex.
house was so dusty.
The first HOH, she had sex with one of the guys in the room, and everybody was freaking out about it because that was like one of the first times. And then it's evolved
I think that was Big Brother 4 was the first time that happened.
Was it Big Brother
David
4?
and Amanda.
Are you sure?
I don't remember the names, but it was 4.
I think it was David and Amanda.
Okay.
See, I'm like an encyclopedia for like.
Are you guys fact checking me right now?
I mean, I don't want to. I'm pretty sure it's.
Well, and that led to her ex-boyfriend was in the house and he flipped out and started breaking chairs and he got evicted.
Well, she was tall and had dark curly hair, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Okay, Big Brother 4. But now we fast forward to the sex stool, the Jack Shack. You got Annalise blowing Jack in the shower, Holly blowing Mickey all over the house. I mean, they show. You got the little guy jerking off. I can't remember the little guy. What was his name? The little guy.
The little guy?
The
little guy.
The
JC?
small
JC.
Oh, JC?
JC beating off. It was like the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
JC did have some quality time.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, I mean, now it's like, look, there's nothing we don't see on the feeds, y'all. We see it all. I personally don't watch that stuff. Yet everybody's lighting up the chat. JC, thank you. But we see everything. And when you want to come out and have the balls to say to us, you don't see everything on the video. Yes, we do. We see the shit we really don't want to see. If you really want to get rid of me, why don't you jerk off and talk about strategy at the same time?
While whispering to the camera.
I'm going to get it out.
Gonna back door.
I'm going to
Yeah, so let's talk about strategy then. I mean, so we don't have an HOH result, so I guess we'll see that on Sunday. But if it's, I was telling Tim, I was like, I kind of wouldn't mind like a Daniel HOH here, or like just something to like rock the boat just a little bit. I just want to see, I want to see the leftovers be tested, especially like. I feel like there's like a little divide brewing between like Monty and Joseph on one side and then like Kyle and Michael in the other, with like the girls kind of in the middle. So I would like to see, I want to see them succeed, but I want to see them earn it. You know what I mean? Like the cookout had like such an easy road. Well, not easy, but like it was such a straightforward game, right? Like the cookout was never like truly in danger. Like even when Sarah Beth was HOH, like she targeted like Derek X. So I want to see how the leftovers like get themselves out of a sticky situation. Like because I think that the leftovers could actually be like a more strategically impressive version of the cookout, because there is no like movement behind it to kind of keep everybody wanting to stick together. Like their only incentive to stick together is for like strategy purposes. So it's easier for that bond to break when like when the going gets tough. So I kind of want to see that happen. And give Daniel a little more spark in the game, just not as somebody I want to root for. Like, please don't anybody get that twisted. But you know, just for a little adversary, a little tougher. What do you guys think of that?
I'm kind of with you. Listen, the more chaos, the better. I'm not saying the guy deserves it, you know, getting a letter from home or anything, and he's already been HOH. But I could use a Kyle and Daniel HOH, even if it's Kyle that wins HOH. I could definitely deal with that. I would love to see that conversation go down, considering Alyssa is on the same team with Indy and Taylor. I mean, how is that going to balance out? Look, Kyle's never going to get to dip the tip if he even puts Alyssa on the block on his HOH or Daniel's HOH, and I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Alyssa's so like thirsty for it though. Like I could see her being okay with it. Like
I just can't. I feel like if I'm in the Big Brother house, first of all, I'm not in a showmance, but if I'm in that, if I'm young and dumb and full of, you know what, I am just going to be like, you put me on the block because of Taylor, we're done. We are so done. Don't even. And he is so close to getting the vajayjay that he might just do it. I mean, this is where the problem is. This is where I could see where Michael and Brittany and them, let's not do it. Let's get rid of Alyssa. That she's a problem. This is a problem.
Well, they wanted to. They really wanted to take out Alyssa, and I understand the reasoning. Like it is in every incentive for Michael in particular to get Alyssa, because Kyle had like a really strong final two with Michael before like the whole like showmance of it all happened. So Michael needs to get Kyle out. Michael needs to get Alyssa out, so Kyle is most loyal to him, especially because like Monty and Joseph are so tight. Like Michael just needs better allies than Brittany at the moment. Like, to be frank, you know, like Brittany is very much so on the bottom of the totem pole within the leftovers. So anything for Michael to get some more agency and not have to depend on like all these comp wins for him to have any kind of sway in the alliance. Tom, what do you think of that?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be tough if Brittany or Michael become HOH, because to target Alyssa, they'll have to put Taylor on the block again, which Brittany probably wouldn't want to do. This is the thing. Now we're at the point that even if a leftover doesn't win HOH, who I don't like. You gotta know who he's going to target, because someone has to. You have to at least put one person from the leftovers up, and it's like not sure, like who's the if Alyssa's the target, but it may not be easy to put Taylor up again. So like if it's not Alyssa,
I mean, honestly, it probably needs to be Monty and Joseph and Terrence, and Terrence probably needs to go just to avoid like any like sticky situation with like Alyssa, right? Like wouldn't that be the move, Dom?
Yeah, I get on a week where you're not sure who to target. Terrence right now, he's an easy out because he's just he's just third wheel right now in that alliance, or maybe as you said, fingers crossed, Turner may get to the point. It's okay, put me on the block as long as we can get Jasmine out. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's a real possibility too.
But if you can't get rid of Alyssa, maybe get rid of Jasmine. Because I can't imagine anyone wanting to spend the rest of the summer in the jury house with her.
I think if we had a Taylor HOH, we could definitely do Turner and Jasmine. No problem.
I can't deal with Jasmine talking about, oh, I'm happier than a pig and shit in this jury house. Like, I can't hear that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, what would if say Indy or Alyssa gets HOH, they can't target Taylor now because she's on their team. So like, I don't even know who they go after.
Well, if Alyssa wins HOH, it's basically just going to be a Kyle HOH. That is like, as much as we're talking about blinders from like Kyle's point of view, like it's like even worse for Alyssa. Like that girl is like thirsty for it. Like
we expected that from her. We thought he'd have agency beyond just wanting to hook up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We're disappointed in him. This is what we expected from her.
As much as he wants it, like she wants it too. So like I
can't get into it, man. I feel like I feel like the roles should be reversed. Like he should be chasing her around. Not that, they're both, I mean, she's a beautiful girl and he's somebody's type. And I just I don't know.
He reminds me so much of Matt Damon in The Talented Mr. Ripley.
He does. Oh my God, he does.
I've never seen that movie, but
that is a great that movie. Have y'all ever seen? Oh my God, I love that movie. Like I have to watch it if I come across it. I just have to finish it.
I like that movie though. Other than that, I'm not a Matt Damon fan. That might be like the only movie of his I like. He always cameos in other movies. I'm like, oh, this guy again.
Yeah, it's just great. But anyway, that is I love it. Now I'm not going to be able to unsee it. But yes, I like it.
Right, let's update our draft here. So Jackie lost her first person tonight. So
good for you, Tyler.
Thank you. I really did not expect to still be here with all four people. Like not even gonna lie. But Dom, what do you think about the teams? Who's the winning team?
Let's see. It's not looking good for Jackie right now. Andrew, I expect both he's got two, but they're strong too. I expect Joseph's going to go far in this game. I don't.
Yeah.
He's amazed me. I'm really team Joseph.
Because within the leftovers, Kyle's sort of pulling away, but as Turner, he's basically still with Joseph and Monty in the pound, so they still got their bro alliance. And bro alliances usually go pretty far in the game. They always stay loyal to each other. All it takes is a fist bump, and they're on the same page.
I would have to imagine, though, that Turner, like, I would love to get inside Turner's head a little more in this game strategically, because, like, he has to realize that, like, in this, like, group of, like, guys, like, with Monty and Kyle and Joseph, he has to realize that he's probably number 4 on that totem pole, right? Like I don't want to, like, he's not, like, a bro's bro. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
right.
I don't see any of those guys going to bat for him over any of the other 3, which sucks because Turner was like the HOH that really changed the whole direction of the season and put these guys like on the path to success. But I don't know. I wonder. I really wonder where Turner is going to go in this game.
Speaking of which, and this is something that Kim asked us on the show Tuesday night, who has surprised you guys? And Jackie, if you want to answer it again after watching tonight's episode, you can as well. Who has surprised you the most, and who has let you down the most?
Do you need the bracket back up?
Well, I already said earlier in the episode.
Did I ask that question the right way, Jackie? Is that how she asked it?
Of my people or of everyone in general?
Yeah, like how did Kim ask that question? Who?
Yeah, it was the same way.
Okay.
So I was trying to compare it. Like, am I thinking of everyone in the cast or? Just
sorry, someone was spamming us with adult porn in the chat. Okay, thank you.
No, definitely everybody. I just meant like the graphic up just to like see all the house guys.
Oh, okay. So what I said on Tuesday, I think I am pleasantly surprised by Michael. I definitely thought that I was going to be like, oh God, like please, really. But he actually ended up being the phoenix that rose from the ashes. The person who has let me down The absolute most. I mean, Nicole's gone, but next to her is Jasmine. She has let me down worse than a monsoon in Arizona.
Oh
And
my God, no.
she makes me so mad every day.
Let's see. So I will say who has surprised me the most. I will say Turner. I just like everybody expected him to just be this like little shit,
Little
and I just really respect his veto speech that he made. And I'm the most disappointed. I can't say somebody like Jasmine. I can't say somebody like Daniel because I knew that they were going to be flops.
Of course, we know.
So I'm gonna say my number one pick, which is Monty. Like I really expected him to be like a Tyshawn / Xavier, like a really great like potential winner for this season. But I just like I feel like he's just like coasting this entire game. Like even this HOH was very simple to execute, not really anything strategically complex that he needed to worry about or anything like that. So I can't really give him like a lot of credit for Nicole going. I mean, like Nicole only left because Daniel is such an idiot that he didn't use the veto on his best friend. You know, like I more chalk up Nicole leaving to Daniel being a flop than to Monty being like a good player and getting what he wanted out of his HOH. So yeah, I just like I don't see like a lot of like chess going on up here for Monty, and I just I expected more. And Amira too. That's another one I'm pretty disappointed about. But yeah, so that's my answer.
Dominic, what about you?
Well, I already said it earlier because I wrote it down when Kim asked the question that it was Kyle and Turner surprised me the most in a good way, but now Kyle started. I've lost faith in Kyle because now he's become as obsessed with oh man, I just blanked on her name. Alyssa. So he's become obsessed with Alyssa as Matt Damon was with Jude Law in The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh my God, that's such a good reference. Now I can't stop.
And disappointment, I said I'm disappointed with just Indy as a personality in the house.
Did you guys think of the like preseason? Like, I'm just curious, like what you guys thought. Like, what did you guys think Indy was going to be compared to like what we got?
Well, I love how she won everything in our brain still. She remember the Patreon brain still that we did, and now I really don't know have much to go off on from her other than she doesn't give a shit. She's gonna say what she wants and do what she wants, and she doesn't. I mean, it's not like a Nicole and Daniel kind of situation. I don't know how many foreign women you guys have encountered. But they're spry and they're spunky and their heart is always in the right place. They gonna tell you if you look fat in that dress. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're gonna tell you if that guy's trash and even if he's sitting right next to you. Okay. So I still need to think a little bit more on her. I think that there's always that one person in the house that gets away with just talking shit. Nobody even thinks twice about it because it's who they are. And it's like, oh, it's just Indy, whatever.
Is that Indy?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that one person in the group. Like, I say tons of dumb shit all day long, and everybody's just Allison talking.
Well, that was sort of her week one. I feel someone week one's like, oh, we're a family here. We all love each other. And she goes, it's been 3 days. I don't know you people that way. I'm not gonna say I love anyone. Yeah, but now since then, it's just all hatred specifically at Taylor. It's all focused on her.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys watch 90 Day Fiance? Seriously.
Yes.
Jackie, you know what I'm saying? These ladies, they are.
Mm-hmm. She had this great moment. Go ahead, Don.
No, you could go first.
She had this great moment with Daniel on the live feed that I saw where she was like sucking in her tummy like as tight as it could go. Like she was fasting and she was doing this like tummy suck like exercise. And Daniel's like, so you don't have anything in there? She's like, no, I do. I have food. Like I have my intestines, but there's just no fat there. And she's like, you could do it too. And he's like, no, I can't. She's like, yeah. That moment was just the realest. Like you said, the women who are like not from this country,
Yeah.
they are so raw, and they're like, you're gonna get this. This is what you're gonna have. What you see is what you get, and I love that about her.
They don't have that trained. Yeah, they don't have that trained way of thinking that us as girls were brought up with, to be so self-aware of all of these things, and men too. But it's different. I am interested. Very, I'm not completely invested, but I am interested. I would love to see an indie HOH. I think that would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
putting you up and I'm putting you up. I don't need to explain myself. Just talk. I'm sorry, Dominic. Go ahead.
No, because her number one target is now on her team, so no one knows what she would do.
Which is great.
A total wild card.
Yes.
And then she could actually be on the show because she's hardly been on the show.
Yeah.
It's like I keep comparing her to Rennie, and not in like of course like Rennie was like a wonderful, like hilarious woman, like very different energies to Indy, but like just like their positioning in the game and how they are taken like not seriously as a player at all. Like I feel like Rennie's HOH was really just like a circus, like all week long, in terms of like people coming in and out of the HOH room, just like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what's stuck. And I feel like that would be the same thing for Indy's HOH. So honestly, like whoever's the last person to talk to her before nominations is probably what the plan will be for Indy. And like not really like it's not going to be any like I don't know. Yeah, especially with Taylor like not being able to be nominated. That's a really good
So I'm expressing all my disappointment with Indy. If I ever go to a Big Brother party and she's there, I'll probably ask to take a selfie with her.
Oh, of course, yeah. Obviously.
Do it. She will nominate Kyle and Daniel, and not give it. Just be like, Alyssa, I don't supposed to hear.
Yeah,
he's got to go. It's going on.
Yeah,
does it?
Yeah, I do.
I can see it.
And I am so here for it. Yep. Don't hug me. I don't like people feel sorry for me.
I did like that moment.
I love it.
Because it's weird that everybody like hugs each other after like all of these like.
I'd be like, don't touch me.
It's weird. It's a weird like house culture. But does that any last thoughts before we sign off here?
What's more cringeworthy? What Jasmine said about chicken wings, or that animated segment they did in last night's episode?
Lord help me, Jesus! What the fiery hell was that?
I was thinking like this is probably what Allison thinks is like going on in my head whenever I take an edible. It's not, but like I was just like, what show am I watching at this point? Like
I was thinking Tyler was thinking Alice probably did this in pick frame animation, collage animation. She probably edited this shit because it looks like a child would do.
Yeah, the quality of animation had a lot to be desired. It was
I can't. They got to stop it with this.
That's one of those instances you don't want anyone to walk in and see that that's what you're watching. That he'll scramble for the remote control to take it off fast.
That's when cats leave the room. They're like, Mom, God dang.
I'm like, this is the show that I try to get all my friends to watch like every single year. And this is the show I
time to watch
about twice a week. And this is the shit that
they come up with.
No, it's like a really serious, like social, strategic, like mastermind, like chess game of people. But it's really just like flying pink elephants and shitty illustrations
and blue fluid in urine and porta potties.
Oh my God.
And free chicken wings and air fryers.
Remember the last time Paul played and they were riding unicorns that were farting dust and stuff? Remember that? That's when I was kind of like, I got to reevaluate some serious shit. I think my son was living at home briefly in that period. And he was like, God, Mom, no. Are they on unicorns farting rainbows? I go, yes, they are. Why don't you go back upstairs and game some more? No.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Well, so we'll be back on Tuesday. I won't be here Tuesday because I will be in Aruba shooting a wedding.
Oh,
But-
you can't. They got internet in Arubas. I don't like you anymore. You're fired.
What
I'm
was
done.
that fee? That's awesome.
What's that?
What is that
what's
fee like?
Oh, just travel and hotel accommodations for a couple of days and in a small
Ooh.
closet. I heavily discount for destination weddings because the experience is just like, you get like a free vacation basically. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'll be back on Thursday for the eviction. So don't worry, Allison. I'll be back.
I hope you're sunburned.
I will definitely be sunburned. There's
I know. It's a little thing.
You see how pasty I am? Like I just like look at the sun the wrong
Hello?
way and I turn into,
You
like,
can
a
see
red
my
velvet.
veins. When I went to the doctor on Monday, they had we love when you come in, Miss Kelly, because it's just like, which one? Which one do we want? They're so big and juicy and visible.
So you're like a baby fish that they put a flashlight behind you and they can see straight through.
Transparent.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, Dom, thanks for joining us. Where can we find you on social media?
All right, at Dom Capella 1's my regular Twitter. At One Brooding Misfit is my blog. broodingmisfit.wordpress.com is the blog, which I haven't even posted since February. I say that every time. I'm only motivated to post like twice a year, but you never know. I might start posting more.
Yeah. Whenever the inspiration strikes. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about once the last Halloween movie comes out. I cannot wait for that.
Yes. I personally think that we need to do a show about the Halloween films, the old and the new, because we got a real big expert. He knows. I mean, yeah, that guy's been creeping me out during the whole show in the corner.
Yeah, I was make sure that it's right behind me.
Tyler and Beth and I had words and thoughts after the new trailer dropped, and
there's some sexual tension we need to.
Some sexual tension between Mike Myers and his not sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
No, we can make anything dirty.
Yep. That's our show. All right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.